I'm starting a cult, specifically and only for young men looking to escape the matrix, find their tribe, so we can all start businesses together, travel the world, and race in sports cars while we conquer. So, if you want your future to look like this instead of like this, then do me a favor, listen to this video, hear my honest and true plan about what cult I'm starting and how I'm starting it, and then join the free cult down below in the description. So, let me kind of share and explain my honest plan about the cult I'm trying to build and my objectives with this. What are my honest intentions? But first, let's take a look into my life and explain how I even got to where I'm at and why I'm starting a cult and what it's all about. You see, when I was just 6 years old, my family moved all the way from Europe, where we only spoke Dutch, to Canada, where we spoke no English. I went to school, I got bullied, like everyone else, and rightfully so. I mean, I look like this. Of course, I deserve to get bullied. I tried to start different businesses, some even being filming. I tried reselling. I tried to make a bunch of money online. I knew the Matrix was real, but I didn't know what the Matrix was. I knew that I thought differently than everybody else, and I always had a different mindset, yet I never could pinpoint what it was. I knew that I was destined for more, but I didn't know how. And so I tried different things. Nothing ever panned out, and I never really got anywhere. Later on in life, I got diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety. I was stuck working a dead-end job at the bank, 9 to 5, that I hated. While being in university, my life was heading downhill fast. I had no plan, I had no ambition, no goals. As a matter of fact, there were some days where I didn't even want to wake up. I had just broken up with my girlfriend. My bank account was getting lower and lower and lower each week, to the point where the only stuff I could eat was frozen food from Walmart. That was until I decided to change my life around. I heard about this stuff, self-improvement, Andrew Tate, etc., and I joined a mastermind group of a bunch of other young entrepreneurs, a bunch of young hustlers. And during this group, I got exposed to how much money is truly out there and how you can really make anything of yourself if you truly put your mind to it. I saw guys who were stupider, uglier, and just all around not as smart as me, making 10 times the amount of money I'd ever seen somebody make in a lifetime, in a month. And this completely shattered some of the paradigms and limiting beliefs I had in my mind, to the point where I ended up dropping out of school. This is quite literally a picture of me dropping every single one of my classes, even though my parents didn't agree and didn't know at the time to go all in. And this decision ended up paying off well. I signed my first client. This is a video or a picture of me after I'd signed my first ever client. I went on to sign even more clients and more, made a bunch of money. I started to surround myself with other cool things. You can see, saw a bunch of Lambos. I started to work in penthouses, made my first $16K month. Life was fucking awesome. It went from absolutely terrible to awesome. And this allowed me to do even more things, like go bike 122K for a race that I only had 3 weeks to prepare for, because why not? Fly around the world and see the northern lights, go hang out with my buddies and do crazy stupid shit, go pay for really nice dinners with my family, go golfing, spend the night on rooftop swimming pools in Barcelona, more family dinners, because why not? Work from home whenever I want, wherever I want, do whatever I want, travel to Brazil with my boys, spent the time in a villa, got in the best shape of my life, hiked random mountains in nice weather, in bad weather, more villas in Brazil, hiked even more, traveled more, did podcasts around the world, got to see some of those beautiful glacier lakes, man, shot guns, started to be able to afford to eat real food, traveled more, ran some half marathons, loved my life, drove fast cars, hung out with the boys, sat in an R8, went to Mexico. I think you get the point. My life's been pretty fucking cool. And the thing is, it used to be really normal. This is me. This is me at school. Okay? This is me in the bathtub with fucking swimming goggles on. Why? I don't fucking know. This is me taking this little passion I had of filmmaking to try and make some money online. This is me. This is me. And this is also me. And I noticed that I've done something really fucking cool. And as we get into the rest of this document I have here about the Matrix, I've realized there's a lot of people who are like this, who are like me. And it is my goal, I'm on a mission now to create a cult, create a tribe for young men to go from this to this. And my selfish goal I will share with you in a little bit. So let's actually dive into this and share with you the goal of this cult and who I want to be a part of this and what you can expect if you join. Here's the goal. Okay? I want to inspire and unite as many young men as possible and reverse brainwash them from all the societal programming that's been done. I want my story to be a testament to the things you can achieve in this world when you unleash and harness the power of your own mind. I want to wake people up to the spiritual warfare that we are battling every single day, to the elites who have no remorse for their actions. I want young men to regain their true masculinity, to be able to protect and provide for those that they care about, and to be able to make money at their own will, to have complete and utter freedom in all realms of human endeavor, to have control over their destiny. I want you to live up to your God-given potential, and this is exactly how I will do that. Now you may be asking, Stefan, why are you doing this? Why are you fighting a seemingly unwinnable battle? Why are you even spending your time doing this? Well, there's lots of reasons. One is a really good quote from Andrew Tate, which I have behind me, which is, success isn't about what you accomplish, it's about what you inspire others to do. That's part of it, but here's the longer answer. This world is cruel. This world is lonely, and especially when you think different than 99.99% of the population, it gets a little lonely. And so here's the deal. I want friends. I want teammates. I want brothers around me who will push me to my limits, who will make me the absolute best version of myself, who will protect one another no matter the battle that we face. I want people to travel the world with 5 private jets, build businesses together, and most of all, I want people around me that have the same mindset to conquer the world. To conquer the world together. I can never win this fight alone, and that is why I'm trying to gain as many brothers as I can to fight this hidden agenda, to fight the matrix, to fight the programming, to fight for our freedom. I cannot do this alone, and that is why I need you. That is why my goal is to try and reverse brainwash you into my own cult, to wake you up to the world that we live in. And you may not even know the world we live in, and that is what I will dive into in a second here with this entire matrix explanation. Here's the deal, though. Society is failing young men. Society is failing men in general. As a matter of fact, men used to go to war and protect and provide for their loved ones and their family and their country. Now they sit at home and pay money to see naked girls online. Society is out here trying to destroy you, not save you. No one is coming to save you, and you must save yourself and resist the programming, the grooming, and the domestication. This cult does that. It opens your eyes to what is truly possible. It crushes any limiting beliefs you may have been programmed with. It holds you accountable to what you should be, not who you are now. I'll say it again. My goal is to hold you accountable to the standard of the person that you should be, not who you are now. Okay? So, let's talk about the Matrix. Because this is a subject that can go quite deep. I'll give a little surface level idea here, but here's the deal. Right now, we're stuck in the Matrix. Okay, I went down an entire rabbit hole trying to figure out what was really going on. What I found is the reason why I'm starting this cult. And so here's my honest plan. My goal is to post YouTube videos to wake you up on a surface level of what is going on, while also sharing the lessons I've learned over the past 3 years of being in entrepreneurship and going from being a depressed, broke university student to a multi-6-figure entrepreneur who travels the world and does whatever the fuck he wants and says what he wants and whatever the case is. Okay, so I'm going to post YouTube videos to hopefully get you to buy into my story, to like me enough. Okay, I'm then going to funnel you into my free cult, my free Discord community, where you can start to connect with other people who have this same mindset. Where, for context, I ruthlessly kick people out of here. Anyone that shows me they do not fit with this agenda, with this mindset, will be booted out here. You're seen slacking, you're seen gaming, you're seen, rubbing your cock. You're getting the fuck out. I will ban anyone because I only want people around me who will make me better. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I spend all my time with the people inside my cult, and I want to make sure they are good. Okay? After this, my goal is to indoctrinate you further, to wake you up from the true programming that has been done. The true programming. Not this fucking bullshit service level. The true programming in your mind that even limits you from believing you can even make money. There's some people I know who have been programmed so hard that they truly believe that it is so difficult to make money, it's hard for them to do it. That they will never amount to anything, so why try? Okay? To turn you into this. To turn you from a little beta bitch boy into a warrior. Into a real man. While also being able to surround yourself with other like-minded individuals, with young men who are working hard, so we can go travel the world, go stay in cool fucking villas, work in penthouses, run, etc., etc., etc. That's the goal. But let's dive into this mission we're fighting. Who are we fighting? Why are we doing this? Why am I starting this? Well, I'm sure you've heard of the Matrix before. Now, this can get very deep, but I'm gonna leave it very, very surface level for this video. If you join my cult, we talk a lot more about this. We have free calls every single Monday where we go really in depth on this kind of stuff, okay? But the Matrix. Their goal is to control people. Because here's the deal. At the top, at that super highest of echelons of mankind, people have all the money. And when you have all the money, you don't desire more money. What do you want? What do you want when you have all the money in the world? You want power. You want control. And so they will do anything in their power to gain more control over people. Now, there's even a tweet I made the other day, which is that if you want to have power, you have to make sure that everybody below you cannot fight. Right? So let me actually give a little visual demonstration here. Right? If this is you, let's actually do this. Right? If this is you up here in your little penthouse, okay? Everybody that's below you, like all these people below you, you want to make sure that they don't come together, right, and overthrow you, right, and kill you. Because if these people come together and unite, you can see how even if there's a bunch of, small people, if you have a bunch of small dots like this and you combine them together, it turns into one big force. You can see how individually these dots mean nothing. But if I put them inside a box like this, now all of a sudden look at the surface area they cover. And look at you. So they will take you over. And that is how this works. It is a very surface level thing, but what they want is the government, okay, or the men in black, right? The men in black suits, the guys, the puppet masters at the very top, they want to make sure that everybody below them is divided into their own little boxes like this. Because what happens is when everybody is divided, nobody will unite. And when nobody will unite, nobody will join together, right? These guys will not join forces. And when they can't join forces, they can't build a bigger box, which means that they can't overthrow the people up here. And so the way they do this is like the white versus the black. Black lives matter, and it's the black versus the white, okay? Or feminism, it's the men versus the women, right? Or gays versus straight. Or the Chinese versus the Mexican, or the foreigners versus the non-foreigners, or the liberals versus the Democrats, right? Or the Republicans versus the Democrats. It doesn't matter. All they're trying to do is divide us, right? The people that go to the gym, people that don't, right? Body shamers and non-body shamers, fat and skinny. Like, it's all this, it's all programming to try and divide us even more so that nobody can see eye to eye. When no one can see eye to eye, no one can overthrow you. No one can overpower you. You control everybody because nobody will wake each other up because nobody likes each other. Right? So nobody can brainwash anyone else because nobody likes each other. So that's a very surface level thing. Their goal is to try and control. So I'll give you an example. Feminism. A lot of people don't know this, but feminism was actually created by a guy. As a matter of fact, I would argue that feminism was truly created by the puppet masters, by the higher ups. You know why? Because here's the deal. The reason why they created feminism in the first place, initially it was for equal rights. But what they did is they weaponized this idea, okay, of, women versus men. Divide. And guess what happens? When this whole fucking girl boss, CEO, I'm the best, fucking bullshit, whatever, here's what it does. Is now women want careers. They want jobs. What does that do? Increases the tax bracket. What does that mean? It means that the government makes more money. Okay, cool. But once again, they don't really care about money, do they? They care about power. So what does this do when the women go to work more often? Well, what does that mean? Well, it means that the woman is taken away from the kids. The mother is taken away from the kids more often because she's at work now trying to be her fucking lady boss. It also means that more women are working more often and they're so obsessed with their careers that they're not having babies. We could even look here. This is a graph of feminism growing over the years, of how unimportant or unpopular it was back in the day, and look how popular it is now. Okay? We can even look at marriages ending. You can see in the 1970s, couples married in the 1970s were, 50% lasted over 25 years. In the 1990s, this study ended in the 1990s. Only 20% of couples were still married after 10 years. Just look at this. Just look at this and see how absolutely crazy this is. Okay? I wish I had a graph here to talk about birth rates. We all know if you look at birth rates have been declining. Why? Why? Because they've been trying to get women to realize, work. And guess what happens? The women are working. They're too obsessed with their job that they're pulled away from the home and they're working. Nope, I'm too obsessed with my career and making money that I can't start a family. And guess what happens? When you have less kids, you have no future. What does that mean? More control for these people. Now, once again, this is a very surface level. I'm not going to go entirely detailed here because it's a very surface level thing. But I want to wake you up to the stuff that's going on in the world that no one talks about. Because if they do talk about it, they get shut down by these motherfuckers. It's a hope that I can be discreet enough to make sure that I get my point across here. But I hope that you can see this. Okay? Not to mention this idea of feminism is making women more masculine and men more feminine. And, well, you can look at how weak our country is nowadays. Men sit in line and jerk off to girls all day. Imagine when a war comes. Imagine, like, when a war comes, you want strong men, right? When something happens, if you call the police, think about it right now. If you call the police, do you want a fucking fat bitch, a fat chick to show up? No! You want a fucking strong, 6'4" fucking jack motherfucker to show up. Because that's who you trust to provide and protect for you. Not a fucking woman. And that's not wrong, because guess what? If you bring your kid to a daycare, you wouldn't want to see the 6'4" fucking jack guy. You would want to see a beautiful, young, or not even young, just a woman. Because women are better with kids. And that's just facts. Go look at biology, right? Just go look at any fucking animal in the world, right? Who do the kids spend all their time with? Is it the man? Or is it the woman? The woman! It's always the mother. Why? Because they're just predisposed to being better with kids. They're very nurturing. That's how the world works. I don't know why we've tried to inflate this idea propagate this idea on people that that's not how the world works and men somehow, like, no. Just look back look at society, not even look at society, look at biology. And you can see that women are meant to raise kids. That's just how it works. And so when you take kids away from the home, then the question is, who raises the kids? Right? When there's no parents ever, think about this. I wrote this tweet the other day that kids spend, like, let's say anyone under 20, you spend 1/3 of your life sleeping. And then up till 20, you spend roughly 1/3 of your life at school. And then the other 1/3 is at home, give or take. So here's the deal. We can count away 1/3 because you're sleeping, so you're sleeping, you're not doing anything, you're sleeping. Okay? Which means that there's 2/3 left. And 2/3 of those times you're at school. Or one of those thirds of the time you're at school. Which technically means, sleeping aside, 50% of a child's life now is spent at school. And I'd argue the other 50%, majority of that is spent online on social media. I see kids who are 2 years old who have iPads now, scrolling on TikTok. We'll get to TikTok in a second, okay? But so the question is, who's really raising the kids? Is it the mom? Is it the dad? Is it the parents? Or is it the media? Or is it the school? Or is it the government? Who's really raising the kids? And once you realize this, you realize who's raising the kids. Here's the thing, is the minds that are most easy to program are the ones of the youth, right? They're very young, they're very fertile. You can really plant a lot of seeds and make them do a lot of stupid shit, right? It's why when, in certain religions and whatnot, whatever the fuck, I don't know what it is, when you have terrorists, it's never an 80-year-old man blowing himself up. Why? Because you can't brainwash an 80-year-old man as good as you could a 15-year-old kid or 18-year-old kid, right? It's easier to brainwash the young because their minds haven't fully developed. So it's easier to plant the seeds and make them do stupid shit. Right, which is why if you look at school shooters, it's typically 18-year-old kids, not 80-year-old men. Okay? Now, there's obviously other reasons for that, but that's just a very simple fact you can look at. Now, let's dive into the next part of this, controller people. So here's the thing we talked about, is once the parents are gone, the parents are out of the equation, who raises the kids? Well, typically it's school. And so here's what happens, is they force, because obviously school is forced for the most part by a lot of people, right? They bring the kids to school and indoctrinate them and groom them. This is what libraries look nowadays. You have fat bitches sitting here. This guy looks like a fucking pussy. This guy, I don't even fucking know. I don't even want to know. Like, this guy looks like he's a fucking pedophile. This woman looks fucking evil. She looks like she wants to fucking kill herself. Look at these two. They don't look any better, right? And then you see this fucking alien fucking fat fuck sitting up front here reading these people a book about it's okay to be different today. And so here's the thing. Look at this. All these kids are getting programmed. They're getting fucking groomed. Like, this is literal grooming. This should be a criminal offense. I can't believe I have to say this, but we should make men masculine again. We should make women feminine again. And we should make kids innocent again. These kids don't look innocent. Look at this. This girl's even like, ew, what the fuck? This girl looks pissed off too, right? This kid is like, why am I here? All these kids are like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And they're being programmed. And these adults are so oblivious, they're like, oh yeah. As if there's nothing wrong. Also, the reason why these transgender fucking people have to do this shit is they can't make their own babies. Because they know deep down that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, and a man can't fucking have a child. Right? And if a woman tries to be a man, she's not going to have a child because she's a man, right? And so they know they can't have their own kids, so what do they have to do? They have to take your kids. They have to groom them like this. And so they're propagating to these little children, these poor little innocent children's minds, while all the parents are gone. These are all fucking teachers probably, right? That, oh, it's okay to be different. It's okay to be this way. And they're planting the seed that, oh, maybe I'm not a girl, maybe I'm a boy. And this kid's going like, ooh, maybe I'm not a boy, maybe I am a girl. Maybe I do feel this way. Bitch, when I was 7, I probably thought a million different fucking things. When I was 7, I couldn't tell my dick from my fucking foot. You know what I mean? Like, let alone, like, this gender shit. Like, I'm sure there's times in every kid's life where, like, they wore a dress. Does that mean I'm now a fucking girl? Like, no, but that's what they're telling these kids. Right? When you're young, you go through random phases where boys may wear pink, or girls may wear boys' clothes. Does that all of a sudden make this girl now a boy? Right? Does it? Like, this girl looks like she's already halfway there. Right? She genuinely looks halfway fucking trans. Same with this person. Why? I wonder fucking why. And so what is, like, not to mention how weak it makes them, but once again, these kids are getting raised by these people. Like, this is who the kids are getting raised by nowadays. This, like, I don't even know what this person is. I don't want to fucking know, but this fat alien is what we'll call it. Like, look at this. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this? And people can't see this. They go, oh, no, this is normal. This is fine. Like, no. This is a criminal offense to our children. And people will sit here and say, Stefan, you're a misogynist. You're this. No. I think women should be provided and protected for. If war happens right now, you best believe that if I'm with a girl, she is being stayed at home. I'm making sure that she's taken care of in every realm. I'm making sure she never has to do anything she doesn't want to do, right? If we're on the fucking street and some guy's talking shit, am I going to sit back and go, hey, girlfriend, can you take care of this for me? No, I'm going to fucking stand up and be like, hey, what's up? And provide and protect for my girl, because that's how it's supposed to be. But for some reason, society has made that seem to be bad, right? Not to mention the kids. This is absolutely horrendous for the kids. Anyone that has a brain that can look at this and go, wow, this is not good for the kids. And yet we're the bad guy. But that's what they're trying to do, is divide. That's the programming working at its finest. It's people that can't even think for themselves, right? These kids can't think for themselves. Half adults nowadays, my age, can't think for themselves. And I say this shit, and some people, like some of my local friends actually, I remember once I posted a TikTok talking about depression. Like, there's like 70 comments from people from my old town roasting the fuck out of me. Saying like, Stefan, you don't understand what it's like to have depression, you fucking retard, all this crazy shit, right? Anyways, we digress. That's a whole story for a different day. But it's crazy the programming that goes on. People can't even wake their minds to this kind of stuff. Anyways, so this is what happens. They try and groom and over sexualize the younger population. I remember when I was young, like, I didn't even know what porn was till like 15, I think, somewhere around that age. Nowadays, there's like 9-year-olds who know what porn is, who know what jerking off is, who know what sex is. Right now, kids are having sex in grade 9. Back in grade 9, touching my own penis felt fucking weird. Like, what the fuck kind of a world are we in? Right? There's this really good quote, or not good quote, but scary quote, which is that if you want to destroy any nation without war, create adultery or nudity common in the young generation. I'll read it again. If you want to destroy any nation without war, create adultery or nudity common in the young generation. Think about how often sex is talked about nowadays. Think about how many young kids know what porn is. Fuck, you open up TikTok now. There's no filter on TikTok. You can open up TikTok on a 3-year-old phone. They'll show porn. Literally, you look at OnlyFans, look at porn, you'll see straight up porn. Crazy. Okay? And so you can see how this is affecting the mind of the young. And now, we can talk about this whole rabbit hole of what happens when you over-sexualize the youth, right? Everyone fucks everyone abundantly to the point where they never can settle down because they're constantly, like, when you're exposed to, like, if you have a menu with 10,000 different things, you'll never stick with one thing. You'll constantly be like, well, I could be missing out on this. I could be missing out on that. I could try this. I could try that. Imagine if you open up TikTok and there's only one video, and you could only scroll and see one video. Like, you just be, okay, fine, this is the one video I get to watch. It is what it is, and you just move on. But nowadays, right, sex people have been ran through so often that no one can stick together anymore, right? There's a direct correlation between how many times somebody has sex pre-marriage and to how many different people and the likelihood that they initiate a divorce. There's been studies on this. You can go look it up, right? It's crazy. And we wonder why there's so many divorces. And obviously, once again, if you have a lot of divorces, there's no family. You have no family, you have division. When there's division, you have no unity, you have no community. When there's no community, you have no people coming together. You have nothing to fight for. Easier to control, right? It's easier to control a family when the man and when the husband and the wife can't even agree on shit together. Way easier to control that versus when they think together, go, no, I don't like the idea. I'd argue, if someone found a statistic on this, that I would argue the percentage of divorced people, the percentage of people that got COVID vaccines would be predominantly higher in divorced homes than family united homes. It's a weird statistic, but I promise you, if you could genuinely find the true facts on that, I would argue that families where people were together were less likely to get the vaccine than people who were divorced. Why? Because when there's two people with two minds together, they go, wait a minute. No, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's true. Why do we need to get this fucking random jab that we've never been tested, we know nothing about, all of a sudden out of nowhere? If I'm a 20-year-old male in my peak of my physique, if this little flu's going to kill me, the whole world's over. Huh. Wait a minute. There must be more to this story. Go read about the scamdemic. Crazy. Okay? So here's what they do. They bring little kids to school, indoctrinate them, and groom them. Groom little kids into obedient slaves. This is literally what they do. Right? The weaker the people, the more power you have. One thing a lot of people don't know is these two quotes I'll share. The aim of the public education is not to spread enlightenment at all. It is simply to reduce as many individuals as possible to the same safe level, to breed and train standardized citizenship, to put down dissent and originality. I'll let that sink in. I'll tell you another quote from John D. Rockefeller, who's the guy who created the educational board in the United States. The guy who literally created this educational board. He's the one that made the school system like really... I don't say he didn't create the school system, but he was the one that standardized this entire procedure. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. School in and of itself was designed to create the same robotic people with no creativity, so they can't challenge the leader, so they can't challenge the people in power, just so they could do the job that he wanted to get done. Right? A lot of people like talk about slavery. Oh, man, I'm so happy slavery is gone nowadays. Woohoo, we're so lucky. Whoa, what? Slavery's gone. According to who? Who said that? Who said slavery was gone? Back in the day, how slavery worked is some guy you'd go work, and after work is over, you go back to your house, they give you a place to sleep, and they'd give you food. And every single time was equal exchange. You work, they give you food and shelter. Now, granted, I'm oversimplifying. Obviously, I know about some of the horrendous acts that happened, but this is oversimplification of what it was. Right? It was physical. They would beat you physically. Now, what they do is they send you to work. You go work. They give you this fake fucking currency that they control, that you then have to use to go pay for food and shelter. But there's a lot of other things you could buy, and so it gives you the illusion that you have the choice of what you want to buy. And most people will buy the things they don't actually need to make themselves feel good about themselves because, woohoo, we have freedom, and then not be able to actually afford food and rent, right? To the point where now they're more indebted to the system because they have to make more money, but the system controls the money, so they could increase or decrease the money supply all they want. We saw what happened in Cuba. The Cuban dollar dropped to absolute fucking zero. All of a sudden, what you worked your whole life for is now worth nothing. Why? Because the government decided to print more money. That's how it works. Right? You can't control it. You can work your whole life, finally make $1 million. The government prints 20 trillion new dollars. All of a sudden, your $1 million is now worth $100. Think about that. And so, at least back in the day when you went to work, let's say you go to work, you come back home, and they give you a banana. Nowadays, you could go to work, you could get back, and you could get given the equivalent. Maybe your money that you make is maybe the equivalent of a quarter of a banana. That's just not even equal exchange anymore. And they control the thing in the middle. So back then, they can't like just give you half a banana. They would give you the full banana, right? People are like, oh, but Stefan, they beat them. Yeah, physically they did. I'm not oblivious to that. But what do they do now? You think they don't beat us now? You're right. They don't physically, but they mentally. They mentally beat us into the point where now everyone's depressed somehow, which isn't even real, but that's a whole different video. Everyone's depressed. Everyone has all these different diseases and anxieties and eating disorders and sleeping disorders. And so we're just getting beat. It's just not physical. It's mental. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's why people are less likely to talk about it because it's not as, you don't see it. Okay? Think about that. Now, TikTok. Whole different story. I've made a whole video on this. TikTok in and of itself is it's brain rot, but it is the epitome of the downhill trajectory that we are heading in this society. Right? Like TikTok people are oh, it's just a social media app. Okay, it's owned by a Chinese company called ByteDance. Okay, so what? They report all their data directly to the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, so what? That Chinese Communist Party sees what you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you do like. Okay, so what? They send me the videos, the ads, whatever. Okay, cool. Look at China. They have social credit scores for you. You post something they don't like, that you talk about something you don't like, that you protest something they don't like, boom, they lock you out. You can't take the trains, you can't go out to eat, you can't buy groceries anymore. Why? Because you have a social credit card that people can see. Okay, but so what? This is like some Black Mirror shit. If you ever watch Black Mirror, it's exactly like this. Right? But so what? Control. Right? TikTok is used to plant the seed of over-sexualization. If you look at TikTok in China, it doesn't look the same as it does here. Why? Control. There's a really good quote by Sun Tzu, TSU or whatever it is, TZ, whatever the case is, right? Sun Tao, which is that to win a war, the easiest way to win a war is to never go to war at all. Or the easiest way to go to war and win a war is to never go to war at all. Go to war emotionally. We're at an emotional war right now with China and with TikTok, right? Kids are addicted to it. Addicted. right? And that's because of this this idea of dopamine. It's a whole different video. We'll talk about later, okay? Anyways, they groom little kids to be obedient slaves, right? Then they plant the seed of college. Oh, college is important. Well, you need to go to college. You have to go to college, right? You hear it all the time. Oh, you have to go to college. College is important. College is this. College is that. You got to go. Like, if you don't go to college, you're going to be screwed. Says who? Like, once again, why do people not question these beliefs? Like, says who? Like, where does it say that if you don't go to college, like, you're fucked, okay? You waste 4 years of your life, thousands of dollars for more programming. It's literally just more programming. You are spending 4 years of your life and money to get programmed even more. And it's basically just a socially normalized place where people can drink and hook up. Like, it's just a socially acceptable place where people can go and get drunk and fuck every weekend with no consequence. That's really what college really is. Who really learns at college, right? And get this, I even looked this up. You can look this up too. What percent of jobs require a college degree in 2024 in the USA? As of January 2024, 52% of job postings on Indeed didn't include any educational requirements, up from 48% in 2019. In addition, only 17.8% required a 4-year degree or higher, dropping from 20.4% in recent years. 17.8% required a 4-year degree. That means that over 80% of the jobs in the United States of America, if you want to be a fucking little wagey, don't even require a degree. And so why are we told that we need to get a degree in order to get a job? As a matter of fact, when I used to work at the bank, I even asked my hiring manager, the guy who hired me, I said, let me ask you a question. Do you guys require a degree to work here? He said, no. What? So I can become your job and not have degrees? Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me ask you a question. What about hiring? 2 guys, 2 candidates. 1, fresh out of school, rocked it, got a bunch of great grades in school, fresh out, just graduated, right? 25-year-old, whatever. Other guy is a 22-year-old kid, but he's been working in the bank for the last 4 years. You can see all the stats. You can see all the companies he's worked at. You can see all the roles he's achieved and all the other accolades he has. Who are you hiring based on that? He's like, oh, it's obvious, bro. The guy with experience. And that sounds like, wow. A guy inside the matrix, a guy inside the corporate world told me he'd rather hire someone with experience over a degree. A degree means fuck all. And so I don't know why people are telling you it does. If you look at it, it doesn't mean fuck all. There's only very few degrees that truly matter. Why you could argue to become a doctor, you have to have a degree. To become a lawyer, you have to have a degree. And maybe to become an accountant. Everything else I can't really think of probably doesn't need a degree. Right? And the funny thing is, I guarantee you, this is also something really funny. Imagine if you had to get surgery, a brain surgery. You had 2 options. Number 1, a brain surgeon who's done the surgery 10,000 times and has been successful 10,000 times. He's the best one around. He's the best guy in the world. But he never went to school. He never actually went to school. He just had all the experience and case studies in the world. Versus another guy. He's been to school for the last 10 years. He's never done a study, but hey, he's never actually practiced, but hey, he went to school for the last 10 years and learned about it. Who would you rather have do the surgery on you? I know who I would pick. The guy who's done it 10,000 times. And so it's weird because we go to school, but school really means nothing. We care about experience, as we should, because the man with experience is never at the mercy of a man with an opinion. Interesting. Anyways, they plant the seed of college. Now you go to college to get fucking programmed. Don't even talk to me about, we're not going to talk about how bad college is and how stupid and how much brain rot that is, but that's a whole different conversation. Okay, so plant the seed of college. Then after you graduate college, you go out there, you get a job at entry level that you hate just to afford to live. Once again, this idea of slavery. Right? You can't live if you don't make money. You just have to go out there and make money. So this is literally just slavery 2.0. It's all it is. It's slavery 2.0. And the funny thing is you get out of university and you literally get the same job you would have if you went 4 years prior without going to university. It's crazy. Right? As a matter of fact, I remember when I got my job at the bank, 2 months later, a guy who just finished his MBA got the same job as me. You want to know something really funny? I got promoted before he did. He has an MBA and only started like a month or so after me, and I got promoted before he did. Your degree means fuck all. Now, I never wanted to work in the Matrix, didn't give a fuck about that, right? But let's say if you do, go and just get a job and get experience, because that will truly matter. Okay, learn skills that you can't be replaced with. Now, anyways, now everyone's trying to get a job, right? And they want to make money. Why do they want to make money? Because we've got to a point in the world where everyone's being over-materialized to where you have to have all these cool things, otherwise you're not cool. If you don't have a nice car, a nice watch, you're a fucking idiot. Fuck you. Sucks to suck, right? And so what happens is everybody's obsessed with work. And rightfully so, you have to be, because if you're not obsessed with work, you're never going to make any money. Right? And if you're not going to make money, you can't live. And so here's what happens. Everyone's obsessed with work. And so there's no family. There's no real men anymore because everyone's a fucking pussy. There's no unity. There's no community. There's nothing. Right? Here's the average family size in the U.S. Look at the decline. In the 1960s, the average family size, average number of people per household, was 3.3. okay, in the 1960s. In 2023, it's dropped to 2.5. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that means the average family, as in one mom, one dad, okay, this means that the average family doesn't even have a kid, because you can't have half a kid, right? So the average family has half a kid, right? The average family has half a kid. Family is dropping. Birth rates are declining, right? Let's look at birth rate decline chart. And like, you can go fact check these. I don't fucking know what's real and what's not anymore on the internet, right? But here, China, look at the birth rate. Look at the birth rate. Argentina, Angola, Algeria, Bangladesh, Brazil, Canada, France, Germany, Ethiopia, Egypt. Look at this. 1950 versus 2021. Look at the birth rate. It's dropping. People aren't having babies anymore. Global fertility. Not to mention that men are testosterone is at an all-time low. There's so many men who aren't even fertile anymore, who can't even have real babies. Look at this. Look at these charts. Okay? Absolutely insane. Okay, so we go back to this, right? Then we go look, okay, there's no family, which means if there's no family, there's no woman at home to teach the kid shit and to nurture them, to take care of them, to give them attention and actually raise them properly. There's no men at home, because the men usually get divorced. If they don't get divorced, the men's always out, and there's not even real men anymore. They're all pussy men nowadays. And so what happens? Well, let's take a look at this. 1950s, right, versus 2018, not even 2024. Look at school shootings per year moving average. Just look at this. Like, just look at the amount of school shootings that have been happening. Now, people say, oh, this is mental health. I'll tell you why. Because there's no mothers in the home to raise kids properly. There's no men to truly teach kids how to behave. There's no masculine role models anywhere, right? People are only ever talking about being sad, and there's this idea that what you talk about, what you cup, right? If you're religious, in the Bible, it says in the beginning there's the Word, and the Word was with God. Okay, it shows us that if you don't even believe that, whatever, like, what you speak becomes reality. Tell yourself you're depressed for 100 days straight, and I guarantee you will end up with depression. As a matter of fact, this is why people get depressed, right? Because they're sad, and then they go talk to a counselor, a doctor, and a therapist, and the therapist, counselor, and the doctor all tell them how sad they are to reaffirm their belief, confirmation bias, to give this person validation that they are sad, so they accept that they are sad, and they feel acceptable and validated to become more sad. They talk to all their friends say how sad they are. All they ever do is talk about sadness, never happiness, and guess what happens? You start to plant the seed in your mind that you're sad until the point where you truly just become depressed. You literally force yourself into becoming depressed, right? And that's why we have so many school shootings. Is for these reasons. And like I said before, it's always this us versus them, black versus white, LGBT versus straight, Jews versus Islams, or versus Muslims, my bad, right? But it's always a fight, right? The Russians versus the Ukrainians, it's always a us versus them, right? There's no unity. It's always people trying to fight against each other, right? The young men versus the Matrix. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the thing I'm trying to have, okay? And so here's the deal. You work till you're 65. Actually, nowadays, it's probably even more. And you pray that you can then stop working so you can live off your pension fund and then just not die. There's a really cool quote, which is that the best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in prison. The best way to keep somebody inside the Matrix is to never let him know he's in the Matrix in the first place. If you watch the movie The Matrix, you'll see this is literally their goal, is to try and make life so good by giving you the illusion of freedom, by giving you money so you can buy whatever you want, etc., that you never actually leave. And to the point where you're 65, you finally want to quit because you hate your job so fucking much, and then you realize you wasted your whole life. So, you slowly waste your life goodbye in your little fucking rocking chair in your home. You never accomplish anything. You have no purpose, no meaning, nothing. You are a disgrace to your bloodline, and this is just the tip of the fucking iceberg. This is the tip. This is a very surface level thing of what's going on in this world that nobody's even aware of, right? Go truly look at the pandemic, right? Go truly look at it. So here's the deal. Here's my goal, okay? Here's the cult values we have that I'm holding inside my cult. We do not hold beliefs that take power away from us, aka depression, etc. We do not buy into societal norms like university, corporate 9 to 5, etc. We are not afraid to speak what we think, like what I'm doing now. We reject modernity. We believe in traditional masculinity. We seek pain and discomfort to go. We become obsessed with what we do and leveling ourselves up. We do not accept losers and negative-minded people around us, and we are a brotherhood for life. And most importantly, we do all this because we want to provide and protect for those around us so they can all live better lives as a byproduct of knowing and being close to us. So here's the thing. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you do not like your life, change your circle. Change your environment. Change the things you listen and watch. Change the things around you and watch yourself change. You will only ever be as good as your network. So if your network sucks now, how do you expect to break free? How do you expect to become better? You must be part of something bigger. And that is what I'm trying to do. Is build a cult where people can be part of something bigger than themselves. Where people can constantly talk and share these things. And when you say these things, you don't get laughed at by the fucking domesticated dogs of society, right? Who think all this shit is somehow normal. So yeah, this is the idea. This is the goal. This is what I'm trying to do. This is the cult I'm trying to build. And so if you want to be part of this, like I said, you click the link down below, you can join my free Discord. Okay, where you will find other people like this. And if you're gonna be one of those pussies who joins and says nothing, I will ban you the fuck out. I don't want lurkers in there. I don't want people just to check it out. I want people who are committed to changing their lives, who understand and see this, and who want to make a change, who want to do something with their lives, so that when they die, at whatever age it may be, they die an honorable life. They die a respectable life. That's what I'm trying to do. And so if that's you and you actually want to be part of something that's way bigger than you, and you want to fight for the greater good, and you want to bring back the truth, right, and seek for the truth and resist the slave mind and the programming, then this is for you. Okay, and I encourage you to join me and invite anyone else you want to save, because I promise you we're fighting an uphill battle. We are running a full sprint on the incline machine at a plus 10 incline, and it's not going to get any easier. And so it will be difficult. But we're fighting for what's right. And that's why I believe this will all be worth it in the end. Okay? So, that is the cult I'm trying to build. That is why. That is the people I'm looking for. That is the ultimate goal. Is so we can do stuff like this and sit here and talk about the matrix. Talk about the programming. Talk about the things that are going on. Talk about new investment opportunities. New businesses. New ways to get better. Right? Relationships, etc. Right? Because, like, drive fast sports cars. Go buy villas everywhere. Right? Work together. Become the best version of who we are. So that when we arrive, right? When we arrive and we see God, if you're religious, I hope so, if you're part of this, okay? When you arrive and God tells you who you should have been, you check every single box. This, and you go, yep. Actually, I did even more. That's my goal, okay? So that you and the people around you, the people you love, can live the best life. So you can go from this fucking loser to being part of something like this. That is what I'm building. That is what I'm trying to do. And that is my absolute honest intentions. Okay? I have went from being a fucking loser who got bullied every single day. I didn't even speak English when I first came to Canada. I was a foreigner. I didn't know how to speak properly. I didn't know how to present myself, etc. To making a fuck ton of money online so that I can now do every single thing I love. And I want more people to experience stuff like this, because these pictures are only the tip of the iceberg. And this is what happens when you break free from the grooming, from the propagation, from the domestication, from the slave mind, from the programming of the matrix. And you can live even better than this. And my goal in the next couple of years is to have more pictures like this, but with just a bunch more fucking guys on my side. Okay, that is my goal. That is my true and honest plan. And yes, I'm building a cult. And yes, it's going to be savage and ruthless and relentless. And that is the true, honest thing. And you want to be part of this? Let's fucking do it, bro. So I promise you this will be an uphill battle, but it'll be the best battle you ever fight. So yeah. I'm starting a fucking cult. And it's going to be awesome. So let's escape the matrix together.